So just get yourselves vertical. Just take your shoulders back and drop them. We're not going to be starting seated today. We're just going to start straight away standing up. But I still want you to have that sense of the long inhale and the long exhale, which is all part of Pilates. Pilates is not about taking a breath, holding it, and then doing the exercise. It's about making a normal breath last longer and then moderating that breath as you breathe out. So we don't just let the breath go and bring the breath in. Not unless that's specifically called for in the exercise. So just to start off with, check your feet are parallel. Allow your shoulders to drop and widen. And specifically think of the width across the back of your shoulders, between your shoulder blades. So you're allowing your shoulder blades just to drift slightly apart from the spine and drop down below your armpits. So you've got your shoulder blades kind of have a little bit of wrapping that go underneath the armpits. And I want you to breathe in, and as you breathe in, imagine the back of your body expanding, and it's going widthways and it's going back to front. And then a normal out breath, and as you breathe out, just release the breath. So just 4 normal breaths like that. Breathing in, holding a bit at the top, and breathing out. Now just try and draw up the pelvic floor a little bit. So as you breathe in, before you breathe in, just draw up the pelvic floor, draw up the navel, and breathe in. As you breathe out, just let the ribs drop. And then release the abdominals, pelvic floor, abdominals. Just one more breath in. And then breathe out, and as you breathe out, drop your chin and start to roll your spine down. You're coming down into a roll down, allowing your body to lift up underneath, and just let your arms come down, let your arms hang down in front of your feet. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, scoop up the tummy, round your back, roll your spine up, let your shoulders drop, roll your neck up, and bring your head up. Okay, I'm going to do that sideways on. Breathe. I'm going to do 3 roll downs, by the way. Just standard roll down. Just let the head go. Let your weight come forward towards the front of your feet. Let your arms feel very heavy. Breathe in at the bottom. Scoop up the tummy and roll back up again. Remember, your arms are just swinging back to your sides. There's no tension in them. You roll your spine up, and by that stage your arms have swung to your sides. Last one, and just hold the position when you're halfway down. In other words, your hands are just below your knees. Give your neck a shake. Gently give your arms a little circle from the armpits. We're going to do a side bend. We're going to keep the hip bones facing forward. And we're going to side bend towards the screen. So you're carrying your body over that foot, keeping the hips facing the front of the room. And then you bring yourself back to center. Okay, let's go to the other side. So hip bones face the front. Side bend to the other side. See if you can now be looking down at your little toe and back to center. Let's do 2 more. So draw up your tummy so you're lifting yourself up and towards the screen. Stop there, guys. Just let everything relax. Your arm, inside arm, is going to circle from the armpit. Just circle and try and think of your shoulder blade dropping as you circle it. Relax it. Carry yourself up and over to the other side. Let that arm relax and just circle from the armpit. Bring yourself back to your central position. Draw your tummy up and roll your spine back up again. Take a moment at the top just to drop your shoulders, and you're going to reach your arms up to the ceiling. I know my hands might disappear, but just reach. Hold the arms up, and I want you to link your fingers together. And you're going to bring your hands forward, okay? So if I do it sideways on, I want you to feel you're curling your tailbone underneath you and just bringing your arms about level with your shoulders. Not too high, just level. And really push forward with the backs of the hands so that you're stretching the backs of your shoulders. And then stand up tall and bring those arms up. As you bend your knees and curl your tailbone underneath you, you're bringing your arms towards the front. Breathe in, bring the arms up. Breathe out, bring them forward. See if you can drop your sit bones down a little bit more and sit further back towards your heels. Breathe in, bring them up. Breathe out, bring them forward. Now you're going to turn your palms the other way around. Push out, lift your hands up and just bring the hands down onto the crown of the head. Okay, drop your shoulders. And we're going to polish our halo. So you want to imagine you've got a halo that comes forward, that goes back behind your head and around to the side. Or you could think of having a really lovely wide brimmed hat. Now initially what I want you to do is just try and do this with your arms so your body isn't moving. And then try other direction for 4. For 3, so palm of the hands up to the ceiling. 2, 1. Bring your arms back to the center. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction, but we're allowing your body to move. So as you circle, let your upper body circle with you. So you're circling around through the ribs, through the shoulders, through the palms, polishing the halo. 1 more. Keep breathing, everybody. And other direction. So circle, circle, circle. Last one. Keep your shoulders dropped as well, everyone. And then bring your hands back and just push out with your palms. Push out, push out, push out. Push the walls away and lower your arms down to your sides. Take a roll with your shoulders. It's a big roll. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of balance work. I want you to turn so that you're facing lengthways on your mat. If you watch for a second, what we're going to do is we're going to mimic what we do when we walk, okay? So you're standing and you're going to lift up one leg, and as you walk, what you do is you use the opposite arm. So your arm closest to the screen will be lifted with your leg. Your other arm will be reaching back. So as you reach that arm forward, you take the leg back. And as you bring your leg up, you reach the elbow back, okay? So if you, I'm going to push my mat out of the way so you can see a little bit better. So bring up the leg furthest away from the screen and bring up the elbow closest to the screen. The elbow furthest away from the screen is pushing backwards. And then reach. And I just want you to feel that you're looking ahead of you, but you can keep your balance through your leg that you're standing on. Your leg that you're standing on is going to be working really, really, really hard, I hope. 2 more. Just practice that balance movement. And then bring your leg back to center and lower your foot down. Okay? Other side. So standing tall on your leg, bring the leg up, this closest to the screen, bring the elbow up, take the other elbow back. Okay, so we're doing our reach and lift. Now see if you can lift, maybe lift this leg up a little bit further and reach back and up and reach and up. 2 more. Reach. Really focus on staying vertical through your body and finding that deep hip flexor that brings your leg up. Last one. Up and bring your foot down. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake out. Take a breath. breath in there, and as you breathe out, now you're going down into a squatting position. So it's a very small squat because your heels are still pressed down onto the floor. And then stand up tall. So we're going to mobilize the ankles, just coming down and up. Part of this is giving us strength, you know, to actually mobilize your ankles means your feet will work a bit better. Okay, so we're just doing that little squat and we're coming back up and we're going back into our balanced position. So we're going to lift up that leg furthest from the screen. Okay, we're going to lift up the arm closest to the screen and we're going to take the leg back behind us, and this time I want you to try and straighten the arm and the leg in opposition. And then very slowly bring yourself back up again. And again, reach, opposite arm, opposite leg. And that leg comes up as your knee comes in. So we're going to reach out this arm this time. We're reaching back with the same arm as the leg. And then we're bringing ourselves all the way up, really having to focus. Once again, reach in opposition. So you think of this as like a leg slide when you're in a kneeling position. You're holding your center, bring yourself back, focus on something that's not moving, lower your foot down. Okay? You might find that gets you a little bit in the ankles. So once again, just stretch, drop your knees, stretch out. Do that once again. And let's see what the other leg feels like. So standing on your other leg, elbow up, and this time reach back with the same arm as the leg and straighten. See if you can bring yourself forward and then bend the elbow, bend the other elbow and bring yourself back. Okay, so you're reaching out, reaching forward, finding your balance and up. Now I know the hardest thing for me is to keep my standing leg straight. So can you try and focus on the standing knee being really, really straight? Obviously if there's a reason why you can't straighten it, don't worry about that then. Last one, reach, hold, see if you can hold, see if you can lengthen, bring yourself back and lower your foot down. Excellent. Give your ankles also, just drop down into your little squat again, stretching out your calf muscles and straighten up. Okay, so if you've moved off your mat, come back onto the back of your mat. We're going to roll down and we're going to go into a kneeling position afterwards. So we're going to do a roll down, we're going to go into a little pike and then we're going into a kneeling position. So take a breath in and as you breathe out, roll down until you can get your hands onto the floor. Bending your knees. Don't bring your knees down yet. I want you to walk your hands forward. Okay, so knees are off the ground. Push down into your hands and lift your sit bones up as high as they will go. See if you can drop your heels onto the floor. If you can't, that's okay. Don't push them. Lift up your heels. Now, I want you to start lifting your head, bending your knees and coming down until your knees are just off the floor. They're not going to touch the ground. And then push back up again. Lift right onto your toes and drop your heels back down again. Okay, so we're in the downward dog position. Once again, so lift up onto your toes, lift your head, press the floor away with your arms, hover your knees, look forward. Now see if you can rock yourself just a little bit further forward over your wrists, making your body work, not collapsing your shoulders, push the floor away, rock back, lift your sit bones, drop your heels back down. 2 more of those if you can. So lift up. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, look forward, rock forward over your hands, keep your knees just hovering, push backwards, lift your sit bones, drop your heels. Last one of all, Once again, hover, forward. Can you maybe come a little bit further forward? And from that position, drop your head, round your shoulders and push up, all the way up. Drop your heels, lift your head, and bring your knees onto the mat. Both knees on the mat. Uncurl your toes. Cat stretch up, so curl from your tailbone. Your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, your shoulders, all the way up in between your shoulder blades. And then uncurl from your tail, lower back, middle back, upper back, lift the breastbone forward. So the breastbone is shining a light forward onto the front wall. Once again, curl the tail underneath you, round your back, and then uncurl. Right, just bring yourself into a flat back position, so you're not completely collapsed, you're flat. And turn the hand that's closest to the screen a little bit so your fingers face slightly in a diagonal. We're going into threading the needle. With the other hand, the back of the hand stays on the mat. This elbow can bend just a bit, but slide the hand through, look underneath your armpit and breathe in as you rotate. Breathe out as you bring yourself back for 2 more. So breathe in to rotate. Breathe out to bring yourself back. And again, breathe in. Just see if you can go maybe a little bit further. Look under your armpit, look up towards the ceiling. Try and drop your shoulder towards the floor. Take a big inhale and exhale, bring yourself back. Other side. So bring that hand back to parallel, turn the fingers of the opposite hand inwards, so this is the hand furthest away from the screen. Back of the hand against the floor. Breathe in as you rotate. And breathe out as you bring yourself back. 2 more. Each time you go, see if you can allow your shoulder to drop a little bit lower towards the floor, maybe without your elbow bending more. And inhale back. Last one, you hold the position, rotate, see if you can let that shoulder drop, breathe in, and then breathe out, bring yourself all the way back, and bring your hands back down. Just stretch your arms forward and sit back against your heels. Just take a moment to stretch out your back, and then bring yourselves forward to sit on your mat. So this is where you will maybe need your band. You don't have to do this with a band, but I'm going to do it with a band. If you don't want to, you can work your abs without using a band. However, makes it a little bit easier if you put your feet in the band like that. You have your hands, your arms straight, your knees bent, your hands without pulling are about level with mid shin, so sort of the middle of your lower leg. All right? Sit yourselves up on your sitting bones, and then just gently curl your tailbone underneath you. Rock. So feel, first of all, you're not doing any work, you're just rocking, you're allowing your spine to move. And then you're pulling in middle tummy and you're rocking back and you're restacking your spine. And you're breathing out and you're rocking backwards. As if you're just rolling your back into a deck chair. Pull in your tummy, rock forward, breathe in, lift up. Breathing out, roll back. Breathing in, hold. Breathing out, pull in middle tummy. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, up. Okay, I'm going to lose my band now. I'm going to leave my band behind. It's up to you. You don't have to leave your band behind, okay? But I'm just going to put my hands, rest them on the sides of my legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rock back. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, scoop forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale, deepen the tummy, roll forward. Breathe in. You can see I'm not going back very far. Breathe out, roll back. Breathe in, hold. Breathe out, scoop forward, restack the spine. Right, so you're going to straighten your legs now. It's all, grab the band again. Make sure that your hands are level with your knees, not too far forward this time. Your shoulders are down and we're going to do the roll up. We're going to roll all the way to the floor and all the way back up again. Pressing the backs of your legs into the floor. So breathe in, breathe out as you roll back. Breathe in as you hold. As you breathe out, bring your head and neck forward, your shoulders forward, and continue breathing out the whole way up. Then breathe in to restack your spine. So once again, try and make that normal breath last the whole journey. So we're breathing in to prepare, breathing out. Breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Sigh the breath out. Just think the breath is the beginning of a sigh. The out breath. Breathe in as if you're going to smile. Breathe out as you sigh. Breathe in as you smile. Let's do that one more time. So breathing out, just gently roll down. Breathe in. Breathe out as you gently roll up. And now, don't restack. Just let go of the band and let your body just drop over your legs. Gently. Just relax the tension. Restack your spine. Take your band out of the way. Coming up now to balancing point, we're going to roll like a ball. So lifting up our legs, bring your legs together, and for the initial one, hold the backs of your legs, so behind your knees. Don't hold too low initially. Squeeze your legs together. Imagine I've just inserted, I don't know what currency is worth anymore because we don't see it. We don't see cash anymore, but imagine if you put a £20 note in between your knees. Don't let me pull it out. Curl your tailbone underneath you, and you're going to do 5 rolls. So rolling back, rolling forward. Really curling that tail underneath you to get your back nicely rounded. Breathing in, breathing out. Good, 2 more. Breathing in, breathing out. Try lifting your head away from the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. Find your upright position. Right, now take your arms a little lower. Squeeze into the outsides of your shins. Draw your shoulders down so you're a little bit more compressed, and just see if you can do 3 more. So breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, heads lifted, looking into your tummy. Find your balanced position and place your feet down on the mat. Line yourself up, so you want to bring yourself right on your sit bones, and your heels are going to be in line with your sit bone because we're going to roll down and we're going into the series of bridging exercises. So we're going to be working on glutes, okay? So as you breathe out, roll down carefully. Bring your arms next to you, but pull your heels into a suitable position, not too close to you, not too far away. Check that you're straight, so make sure your shoulders are in line with your hips. Let your tummy soften a little bit. Feel the weight weight of your shoulders on the floor and the weight of the backs of your arms on the floor, and certainly the back of your head. And then I want you to take your index finger, place it on your chin, and just pull your chin down towards your throat so that you feel the back of your neck opening from the base of your neck towards the skull, the occipital bone. So your gaze starts to look forward. Breathe in. Now, as you breathe out, draw your tummy down, draw the lower back towards the floor, and just gently tilt your pelvis into the floor and release it back out. So this initial movement is very, very important. This is the pelvis moving around the legs without the legs doing any work. So our abdominal muscles do this for us. They draw the lower back towards the floor. Your glutes aren't even working at this point, so that you feel you can get that nice loose sort of rock of the pelvic basin, whole pelvic girdle, on the tops of your femurs. So this is what starts to lock up very often, and we end up getting leg pain and back pain. Okay, now once you've moved that, then you're fine to go. So as you breathe out, draw your tummy down and then roll your pelvis up, squeezing your bottom and pushing your knees further forward. Keep the eyes looking forward. Breathe in, bring your arms up. That inhale's going to last the whole way back, remember? Long exhale to roll your spine all the way down. Find the mat with each vertebra, uncurl your tail, and as you breathe in, bring your arms to your sides. 2 more just like that. Exhale to roll up. Inhale to lift and reach. Exhale to roll the spine down. Inhale to bring the arms down. Okay, on the next one we're going to stay up. So roll your hips up. Right, just drop the breastbone a little bit, so there's a bit of weight down in there. Feel your bottom muscles, and you might have to put your hands on them. Try and go as soft as possible. So when they go really soft, what's going to happen is your bottom should drop a little bit towards the floor. Make sure it's about a fist height off the ground. Really very soft. Now slowly, like you're squeezing a sponge, I want you to start to squeeze both buttocks tight and keep squeezing them as you dial up the tension until your hips lift. Higher, 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 higher. Squeeze every little last bit of juice out of those sponges, and then slowly let them expand again as your glutes soften and your bottom drops a little towards the floor. For 3 more. So really slow dial up of the tension. Squeezing both buttocks. Lift the hips, lift the hips, lift the hips, lift the hips. Not the ribs, just the hips. And release out. And again, squeeze. Bring them both sides of the hips up evenly. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. The tension couldn't get any higher now. And then release that tension. Got 1 more like that, and you're staying up. So squeeze the glutes on, bring the hips up, feel that tension is dialed up, 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 up. Okay, you've got 2 buttocks, 1 on either side. The one closest to the screen is going to soften, and the other one's going to stay tight. As you soften that buttock closest to the screen, let that hip dip a little bit. The other side staying on. Squeeze it back up and bring the hips back up to even. And then the one furthest from the screen softens so your hip drops. And squeeze to bring it back up again. Keep going. You're going to do 3 on either side, just alternating. Make sure the other side doesn't drop. Squeeze up. Other side softens down. Make sure you keep the tension on it. And up. And what you're actually finding is that your spine is just rotating. The lumbar spine is rotating. Very, very healthy exercise for your spine. Bring your hips up even up. You're not coming down now, guys. Hold the position, and you're going to squeeze your knees together. Bring them together and hold them really tight together for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your knees come apart. Roll your upper back down another couple of millimeters or centimeters. So you just drop your ribs down a little bit more. Press hard into the foot closest to the screen and lift the other leg up. Reach the sole of your foot up to the ceiling. So you've got a flat foot reaching up to the ceiling. Now you've dropped down a little bit through the hips. Then push up to the ceiling and lift up that inch. Drop back. You're doing 6 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the position. Bend your knee. And roll your spine down. Uncurl your tail. Roll your hips all the way up again. Squeeze those hips up. Drop down a little bit through your ribs. Reach out to the ceiling with the other leg. Push the sole of your foot up, and you're doing 6, 5. Bring the hips up with you. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the position. Bend your knee. Lower your foot down. Roll your spine all the way down. Lengthen down through your tail. And last one, into the shoulder bridge. Rolling up. So shoulder bridge, we all know this exercise. You lift your foot to the ceiling, toe pointed. You flex your heel and you lower it just level with the other one. You point and lift. Okay, so starting with a flex. Breathe out, lower the leg level with the other one. Breathe in, bring it up. Breathe out, lower it down. Don't collapse through your other leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, hold. Bend your knee. Lower your foot down. Do not roll down. Even up. Drop the ribs again. Reach up with the other leg. Point. Then flex your foot. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Keep your legs straight, straight, straight. Good. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Lift your leg up. Bend your knee. Lower your foot down. Squeeze the hips up for that last little bit. Reach your arms back overhead. Roll your spine all the way down. Lengthen down into your tail. Take your arms down on either side so that in a T shape. Walk your feet out a little bit further so they're on the edges of your mat. Just rock your knees towards the screen. Turn your head away from the screen. Allow your hip just to stretch out. Draw your knees back to center. Bring your knees over to the other side. So you're just rocking through your knees and your hips, but you want to reach out through that top knee so the hip lifts a little bit more. Do 2 more in your own time, so just don't hurry it, just go as fast as you want to. Keep breathing. Legs back to center. And then bring your feet back into parallel. Lift your hands, link them together, and bring them behind the back of your head. Okay, so we're going into some abdominal work. We're going to be working the obliques, so underneath the ribs. And we're going to try and keep our body in neutral to start off with, so the feet stay on the ground. Draw your shoulders down as you breathe out and curl forward. Breathe into that position. Exhale, roll back down. Okay, so this is such a familiar exercise. We could get a little bit sloppy, so what we want to do is just now focus on the pelvis pressing into the mat, not tilting, tailbone heavy, lengthening out through the crown of your head as if you're cascading up and over and not dragging yourself towards your thighs. Just keep going. So you're breathing out, lengthening, as if you're trying to lengthen your neck, lengthen from the back of your shoulders into a curve, rolling back down. There's a lot of tension in the lower belly. Just holding the pelvis still. And then roll down. Please watch your necks, guys. Do not pull them. Stay down if you need to. Okay, curling forward. I want you to hold that position and open your elbows wide. Keep your hips still and rotate towards the screen. So the elbows are pulling wide, one elbow is lifting towards the ceiling, and then rotate back to center. And then inhale if you can, rotate to the other side, and back to center, not dropping back. Do 3 more sets. So this is the second one. Rotate. This is the third one. And rotate, keep the height, keep the elbows wide, back to center. Roll your spine down. Reach your arms out, release out your obliques here. Keep your hands behind your head and lift up your legs into a tabletop position for single leg stretch. We're all going to keep our hands behind our head to start off with. Okay, so curl forward. Separate your legs. Bring the leg closest to the screen in as far as you can. Reach out the other leg. And we're going for a set of 6. Inhale, exhale. Try and breathe in for one leg, out for the other. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Eyes on your tummy button. Inhale, exhale. Bring your legs in. Roll your spine down. Right, next one is the crisscross. We've just done the prep for it. So separate your legs, curl forward. Bring the knee closest to the screen in towards you. Rotate across and reach the other leg away from you as low as you can. Or if you're struggling, bring it up a little bit. Inhale to center, exhale, rotate. Okay, let's go. Inhale, exhale. 4 more. It's 4 legs. Last 2. Last one. Back to center. Bring your knees in. Bring your hands down onto your knees and draw them in towards you. So you feel your lower back go towards the floor. Okay, we're going into the double leg stretch now. So first of all, compress your lower back towards the floor. Then take your knees out, so your feet are parallel, your legs are together. And I want you to start to curl your upper body forward. Now this is where, if you have neck issues, you may want to just keep your head and shoulders down. But curl forward, making sure you're bringing your shoulder blades away from the floor. Deep curl. Right, now your legs glide away from you. You're trying to reach your knees as you straighten your legs. You're going to lift your arms up, take them to a T shape, reach them around. Now try and reach your knees. Now try and reach your shins and roll your spine all the way down. 3 more. So you're reaching your knees forward. You're trying to reach your knees with your arms. Curling your body forward. Reaching out with the arms, so you have to lift yourself higher. Breathe in. Breathe out, circle. Reach, try and reach the shins. And roll your spine down. And again, inhale. Exhale, circle and reach. Inhale, release. And again. And back. Good, last one. So it's a real burner for the tummy. Up, Circle, try and get up higher. Draw your knees in towards you. Just hug them in. Circle them around gently. Then circle them around to the other side. Lovely. And then place your feet down. You're going to roll onto your side in your oyster position. Now, I'd like you to just watch for a second because we're going to do this oyster in a slightly different way to the way we normally do it. And that's to do with the position of your feet. So normally when you do a bent knee oyster, you have one foot on top of the other. I'd like you to first get that position, and then I want you to take the top foot off the bottom foot and put the heel on the mat just behind your other heel. Okay, so you're moving your heel slightly further backwards. You're still trying to keep your hips stacked, and you're going to pivot to bring the knee up like you normally do, and then bring the knee back down again. Okay? And that is what we're going to do. Okay, so you're starting off in the normal position, head, shoulders, tail in line, tummy working, ribs pulled in. So if you're lining your back against a wall. Then bring your heels just slightly forward of that wall, that back line. Put your hand down here. Lift the foot up, the top leg. Put the heel down on the mat behind your other heel. Try not to roll your hip back. All right, so you're all in that position. You can move your front foot further forward if you wish. Dig your heel in, your knees bent, and you're lifting that kneecap towards the ceiling. And you're lowering it back down again. Now I want a real good pressure into the heel as you pivot your kneecap towards the ceiling and squeeze back down. And you're getting that sense of the femur turning in the hip socket. You should all feel it just behind the back of the hip. In there. Good. And again, 3 more. Open and down. 2 more. Good. Last one. And bring your knee back down again. Okay? So just rest. Now bring your leg back to where it was. So you've got the normal position now. Heel above heel, knee above knee. What isn't normal is we're going to roll our hips back a little bit. Okay, so they're not stacked. You roll the hip back. We're going to work the bottom leg. So if you want to watch one, you're going to lift the top leg up and then squeeze the bottom leg up to the top leg until the 2 knees are squeezing together, and then lower the bottom leg down. Okay, so it's bottom leg to top leg, hips not stacked, top knee staying up. And we're going to do 8 of those. So press that top knee up, squeeze, lower it back down. 2, 3. Please make sure your tummy's working, guys. 4. I can see that all looks great. 5. 6. Take that moment at the top to squeeze. 7. 8. Well done. Okay, now drop both knees down. Make sure your hip is still not stacked. All right, we're going to do both legs together. So if you want to watch, you're going to squeeze both legs up and then bring them back down again. Okay, so once again, squeeze both legs up. Try and get both kneecaps to face up to the ceiling without rolling your hip back anymore. And down, and up, and down, and up, and down. 2 more. Up, and down, and last one. Up, hold, and lower your knee back down. Great. Right, the next one you need to be on your forearm. Okay, so if you can all just come onto your forearms, keep your legs in the same position they were in, and just have a quick watch. We'll just go through it quickly. So this is where I want you to be really careful that you don't collapse into your shoulder. you are going to be pushing the floor away with your arm. So you've got your shoulder connected in, you've got your armpit working, you've got your waist working, you've got that sense of your thighs working. So maybe we could all just do a little prep. If you come into this position, just lean on your elbow. You want your shoulder directly above your elbow, so it's not back behind it. And then your hand to your elbow is about, it is a straight line, so just line your hand up, so you're not twisting it inwards. Okay? Now, you should have, from your armpit to your hip, you should have nothing underneath you. You should just be resting on your buttock. There's a straight line up to your armpit. Now I want you to slouch. I want you to let that tension drop. So you're really letting your waist hammock down towards the floor. And then I want you to push into the arm and lift yourself up on top of your arm. So on top of the humeral head. Alright, so I'll do that again. Just let that drop. And then press down so you feel your arm strength. Okay. Now take the other arm and place it on the floor. Gather up your strength. Now this is where we start to work our upper body. Gather your strength and just keeping your knee on the ground, lift your hip up off the ground. So try not to shoot your shoulder forward over your elbow. It's coming straight up. And then lower it straight down. Okay, so there's pressure into the side of your foot, there's pressure into the side of your knee. Once again, press and just lift the hip. And lower it down. Okay, let's do that one more time. So press and lift. And lower down. Alright, just come up, give your shoulder a little bit of a shake out, a little bit of a rest. And I'm going to show you the rest of the exercise. So you can either continue with that, just that strengthening of the armpit of serratus, or the full exercise is we come up, we lift our hips up off the ground, and we do the final oyster, which is knees to the ceiling, knees to parallel, for 6 of those. Okay, so this is where we're really working our upper body strength. So if that's already exhausted, just have a breather. So you're pressing up, you're going to press into the sides of your feet and you're going to lift your hips and your knees. You're going to bring your knees towards the ceiling, knees to parallel, knees to ceiling, knees to parallel. 3, 4, here's your tummy, 5, 6, bring your leg down, and rest. Just come up. Right, so just let your legs wiggle out. Reach up this arm and just take a little stretch over to the side. And bring it up. Legs straight in front of you. So reach up, just go for a stretch, just reach out through that arm. And bring it back. Good, last one. So up and over, just go for a nice big stretch. And then we're going to change sides. Don't do the other side yet. So we're stretching out, arms long, getting ourselves ready for the first oyster. So knee above knee, hip above hip. Lift your top foot off your bottom foot and place the heel on the mat behind you, without losing your hips stacked. So you might need to take the front knee forward a bit. Okay, get that position. And then pivot knee towards the ceiling. This one we do 8. And back to parallel. So really working up the power in the back of your hip. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and bring your knee back. Line up the knees again. This time your hip rocks back so that you're not stacking your hips, one top one slightly behind the other one. and we're doing the bottom leg. So we lift up the top leg, heels are touching at this point, and then squeeze bottom leg to top leg, and lower, and 2, and 3, 8 of these, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and drop your knees down. Don't restack your hips, so there's one still back. Both knees to the ceiling for 6. 1, 2. Remember, this is what we're trying to do is not roll our hips back, but rotate the thigh bones in the hip sockets. 2 more. I always lose count anyway, but I think it's about 2 more. You can do 1 extra if you wish. Bring your knees back down. Right, so we're going to bring ourselves onto our forearms. You're going to test the strength in this side. So you want to be pushing up against the floor, the resistance of the floor. Draw your ribs in. Your obliques should be working around here. Your obliques go around underneath your waist. And then just let yourself slump. And then push into the arm to bring yourself back. Okay, so we're doing that little prep. Go from slump into strength. All right, just get that sensation that very often we let go and we end up in this position. We have no strength whatever in that position. Okay, find that position. Now all we're going to do, we're going to keep the knees, the ankles and the feet down. Want to press and lift your hip up and lower it back down. Engage the tummy, lift the hip up and lower it back down. And again, up and down. Last one, up and down. Okay, so if that's enough for you, miss out the next one, the tough one. Otherwise, lift your hip and your knee and you rotate knees to ceiling, knees to parallel. Keep the lift up so you're not slumping your shoulder this time. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Bring yourself back, lower down. Stretch your legs out. Give everything a little bit of a wiggle. Okay, so lift up this arm. So allow the shoulder to lift. Breathe out, take yourself over into a side bend. Breathe in, bring yourself back. 3 of those, so up and over. And back. And last one. And back. Bring your arm down. Okay. So we're in a position where we're going to do some glute stretches because we haven't done any glute stretching yet and we've been using our glutes a lot. So some of you have a preference for lying on your back and crossing your your legs like this and drawing them into you. I'm going to give you a stretch that I really like. If you prefer doing your own one, please do. I want you to stretch out the leg closest to the screen and just cross your ankle above your knee. You're going to be leaning back a little bit, okay? So you're going to bend your knee and bring your foot in towards you. Now you've got to push the floor away when you do this. You try not to collapse backwards. I now want you to lift your bottom up and sit it closer to your heel and let your outside, the knee furthest away from you drop back out towards the opposite wall. And then press and see if you can lift your chest a little bit more. Breathe in. Keep your knee pushing out. Hold that stretch. It's agony in your hip. I know some of you find your shoulders ache when you do this, but just try, hold. And then release the tension. Take your legs out, give them a little bit of a wiggle. Alright, so I don't know if it helps if I do it facing forward. I'm going to do the other side. Put the ankle just above your knee and then your knee comes up like that. Okay? So, press yourself up. Now lift your bum, take it closer to your heel, bring your hands in closer, or take them further back, but I want you to lift your chest up, so you're slightly arching your back. Breathe in. Keep the knee pushed out towards the screen. Hold. Gonna hold that stretch. And then gently release your legs out. Once again, give them a little bit of a wiggle. Stretch your legs forward. Take a breath in, lift your arms. As you scoop your tummy, just lean forward over your legs. Just let your body drop into your hamstring stretch. Just let your body drop down. Good. Now, if you've got the reach, you can hold your toes. If you haven't, just pop your hands on your shins. If you've got the reach, draw your toes towards you with your hands on them, otherwise hold your shins. Pull your toes towards you, either physically or just pull them as like that. And holding your shins, lift your chest, push the backs of your legs into the floor. If you can hold your toes, start to point your toes round your back and lean forward over your legs. Okay? So once again, your feet are flexing, your toes are coming towards you, your shoulders are dropping, your chest is lifting, you're pushing your heels away, either holding your shins or actually physically holding your toes. Now start to pull yourself forward by pointing your toes round your back, dropping forward over your legs. Last one. Toes towards you, pull them towards you, push your heels away, lift your breastbone, and then gently round your back, let go of your feet, roll your spine all the way up. Roll yourselves forward onto your tummies. Okay. I want you to start with your hands in this position, so goalpost position, elbows about level with your, a little bit lower than your shoulders. Take time to get yourself in the correct position. Reach your legs out in a small V, gauge your tummy, draw your ribs down, pop your forehead down, lift up the back of your head and neck into the Sphinx. Some people call it the Sphinx, some people call it the small cat, small swan. Draw your shoulders down, send your breastbone forward, reach your legs out, breathe in. Now your tummy is engaged. Breathe out, roll the spine down, bring your head down. Once again, your head and neck come up. You draw your shoulders down, you hold that position. Haven't got much pressure on my arms. And then breathe out, come down. Okay, come up into your top position of that little exercise. So finding the head lifting first, the shoulder blades pulling down your back. Consciously pull your shoulders down. Draw up your tummy and see if you can start to lift yourself up without pressing with your arms. And then eventually you have to press with your arms and push yourself backwards. Lift your head, lift your gaze. Engage your tummy and almost not using your arms, roll down and then bring the head down. So once again, your head and neck come up, shoulders down. Really engage your back muscles to see whether you can bring yourself up without using your arms as much as possible. Push your legs back. Then eventually push against the hands. Lift up, lift your gaze. Look up the wall. Look at the top of the wall as you roll your spine down. Keep looking up, up, and then finally bring your head down. Once again, just lift the head. Start to look along the floor in front of you. Draw your shoulders down. Start to look up the wall in front of you. Start to let your gaze lift up the wall as you come up and reach your legs out. Keep your gaze high and reluctantly bring your body down all the way until you've brought your head down. Put your hands next to your ribs and sit back against your heels. Drop into your shell position. Take your hips from side to side. Just wiggle them side to side. Okay, resting in this position, take a breath and try and curl your tailbone under you. And uncurl it. 2 more times. So lift the skin of the tummy, bring the pubic bone towards your nose. Just try and curl that tailbone under you. And then release it out. Last one. Breathe out, just curl. Stretch the fascia, the skin of your lower back. And then gently uncurl. Bring your toes underneath you, ready to stand up. Walk your hands back. Always keep your head low. And while you're starting, allow yourself to roll up slowly, straightening your knees. Allow your arms to swing to your sides. Allow your neck to restack. Allow your shoulder blades to slide down. Ready to finish off with your roll down. Drop your chin down. Drop your breastbone way back into your body. Lift your diaphragm up and roll over the top of your ribs and hang down as low as you want to. See if you can drop a little lower. Hang into that position. Draw up through the tummy and roll yourselves up into a standing position. Drop your shoulders. Realign your head, realign your gaze. Send your gaze way out into the front, onto the horizon. Evenly drop your shoulders, just gently engage your tummy. Lengthen up through the back of your legs. And just take a long inhale. And gently sigh that breath out.